This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com.
Previously on TV Tuners.
Stairmaster, I'm gonna put you in the soil.
I'm not here to make friends.
Hey, you need a new snack? Have you tried fireworks?
Behold, my greatest masterpiece, the egg carrier.
Stairmaster has been voted off the island.
Kyorain, enjoy this free flight to Bermuda. No expenses paid.
And now, TV Tuners continues.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and roommate who's selling cocaine disguised as energy drinks, Stairmaster.
Hey, kid, want to buy some crack?
No.
Oh, here, have it for free.
Oh, okay, thanks. That's what a generous guy.
I'm a socialist drug dealer.
Oh yeah, that's we need more of that in the in our world.
This is mutual aid.
And with us, as always, is our other co-host and talking Sharpie, Kyorain.
Hey, Swanson, you need to write down something meaningful with me.
Swanson, come on, you're almost 29.
Oh no, I'm almost 28, but yeah.
Wait a minute, I'm older. Wait, how old am I?
Uh-oh. This is the episode of TV Tuners. This is the episode of TV Tuners where Stairmaster has a crisis of conscience when he realizes how old he actually is.
I have a crisis of consciousness because I can't remember.
Yeah. It's a very special episode.
Yeah, I think I'm 27. That would check out.
Where we talk to Stair about how time is a flat circle.
And you run to catch up with the sun, but it's sinking.
Time is a little man who lets you know how much of him
keeps a little guy on your shoulder
in your life.
Yeah.
Saying you're going to die soon. And
well, I was told that the fast is far behind us and the future doesn't exist.
The past is history and the future is a mystery.
I've also heard that heaven can't save us and hell is a joke.
Well, also true facts, yeah. Welcome to TV Tuners, the podcast of facts and knowledge.
Welcome to the knowledge dimension. We're going to open your third eye.
Yeah. Just come over here and join our little group of friends who are going to help you experience your new wokeness.
And we have free Fresca.
That's right.
And crack.
Well, and we have some
Fresca.
very, very nice vestments as well.
I love the word vestment.
It's a good word. It should be used more in conversation.
It's almost as good as the word investment.
Is that one a word?
It's a Rickyism.
Oh, Ricky
from Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, I thought Keo meant Riccio, the Tale of Ricky.
No, I don't know what that is.
That's the movie where he punches down the prison wall at the end and
so
tells everyone they're free to go.
When are we going to talk about Trailer Park Boys again on the pod?
When it comes back? When they reboot it as a dramatic series in the year 2040?
Yeah. That's bound to happen. So yeah, welcome to TV Tuners. Of course, if you like what you're hearing so far, why not subscribe?
Yeah.
If you haven't already, it's a good way to help us out and get us noticed. Of course, another great way to do that is to tell your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things yeah, very helpful. one of the things you should tell them is we're available on all of the podcast apps of your choice or theirs. Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. We're even on Amazon Music now.
TV tuners, we believe in the right to choose.
That's right. Yeah, Amazon started its own podcasting app, and we're there, ready and willing.
Are?
Yes.
Wow.
So we believe in the right to choose, and that's why we're pretty devastated about the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
That's right. Today we stand a queen. Anyway, this episode is in dedication to her, obviously. I don't know if you picked it up from the beginning, but...
It's the TV Tuners Feminism Hour, where we talk about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
And really, there's no greater testament to her legacy than for 3 dudes to sit around and talk about feminism.
For like a minute and then stop.
I was so inspired by her fight with 3 separate types of cancer over the past 30 years.
It was quite inspiring.
Actually
25.
Pretty insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was very inspired by her refusal to retire from a job that she could have retired from.
I was inspired by her weird desire to outlive the other Supreme Court justices.
Yeah. It's great stuff. Here's to you, RBG.
Oh, and Swanson, I heard you had a big announcement to make.
Yes.
That's right. As of now, I am officially never retiring from TV Tuners.
Oh my god, that's such a relief.
Yeah. If anyone was worried that I might, remove myself from the position of host of TV Tuners and then, the president would have to place a new host of the TV Tuners podcast in there, I am not doing so. I will be here until I die.
Oh yeah, we are part of the White House Communications Department.
Yeah. We're a very small, unimportant branch, but we're there.
Yeah, they don't pay us, or we don't have any kind of clearance at all.
And we're also in Denver.
Wait, you guys don't have the license to kill?
No.
Why have you been murdering people then?
Because they annoy us.
Wow, I'm learning a lot about my friends.
We have different reasons. Swanson, you kill out of annoyance. I kill out of necessity because,
Oh, I've been doing it out of justice.
Oh, well, see, in a way, we sort of represent all 3 of the branches of government.
You have some twisted concept of justice, Stairmaster, and I'll strike you down to stop your reign of terror in the city of Denver.
If killing you, my friend, is the path to least bloodshed, then I will not hesitate. Have at you. Swing! Cling! Clong! He's fast.
So that's the best you've got, Stairmaster. Don't make me laugh.
I can't believe he was this powerful.
Now it's time to end this. Wait, Swanson, what are you doing?
There will be no fighting today. We must record a podcast.
Swanson has mastered the technique of gun pointing.
That's right. Now I got 2 of them pointed at both of you. I've got 4 guns and I'm pointing 2 of them at each of you.
Okay, well, Swanson, I promise to never do an anime battle in the first 10 minutes of TV Tuners ever again.
I promise never to do it, period.
We saved that shit for the last third. Gotta make them wait.
And it's gotta be on a big even-numbered episode. Like
It's
episode
true.
110.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, if you like all of this, of course, you can subscribe and give us 5 stars. We love that. We love an appreciation of your love and support.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anyway,
also, you can tell your enemies too if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and tell your enemies. I don't know if they're willing to trust your recommendations, but hey, if it works, it works.
What if their enemies are jackasses, though? Do we really want them watching? Do we really want their money?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Why
Oh,
not?
okay. Let's
You
go.
know my motto: money's money.
That's, yeah. And hey, if you're a jackass, that probably means you're on Twitter.
And
And you
loud.
can find it. Yeah, and you can find us there at TV Tuners. Or use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll glance in the direction of that. There's tons of great TV content over there, of course. But if you crave a different kind of connection, like a real personal connection or just want something that we read aloud to you on the pod, then you can email us, of course. We have an email address for all of your quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Keelrain?
tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Stairmaster?
tvtunerspodcast@email.com.
That's right. Yeah, you guys can be like Punished Geo.
I wonder who this is.
Who wrote this email titled Ballin' with the Devil? Hey, TV Tuners.
Okay.
The devil has materialized in the TVT Denver mansion. I don't know what this is. He claims this is a 3-bedroom ranch, but that's not where we live.
It's more like a no-bedroom.
Yeah. It's more like a living room set with like upstairs that lead to nowhere.
There's a big pit on the other end of the stairs. I'm afraid to see what's at the bottom, but every day I hear a voice whispering, "Jump."
He will claim Kyo's soul unless the TVT host can defeat him in competition. What competition do you choose? 3-on-1 street hoops, a game of chess with the devil at one side and the TVT boys at the other, GoldenEye 64? These are just examples. It can be any competition you like.
Okay, because I would be really pissed if we didn't get to pick for ourselves. Keo, what would you do?
Okay, well, personally, I would definitely just take a crack at playing some Puyo Puyo.
Against Satan.
Yeah. and you guys
canon battle.
Yeah. And spoilers, I've beaten him before.
Whoa. You've bested the Red Man himself?
Yeah, the Dark Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, slaughtered him.
Dang. So you don't think he would like have gained any new knowledge on Puyo Puyo since then?
No. He's like a weirdo.
Yeah,
a little man.
Sense. I heard he only plays Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beam Machine.
No.
No,
I disagree.
He doesn't play that. Okay.
Well, okay. Swanson, would you like to go next?
Sure. First, I want to say that a game of chess with the devil at one side and us on the other sounds like we would easily lose that one, because I don't know about you two. But we're not really chess masters, and I think like one of the oldest film versions of the devil is a game of chess. I feel like he's real skilled at chess.
All right.
He's really crafty.
Well, if my reading is correct, according to Dante's Inferno, Satan is just stuck in a block of ice at the center of hell, so I will challenge him to a foot race and win by default.
Well, I mean, you're hoping that Dante got it right.
The question implied that, for example, street hoops would be a valid contest. Which would be just as easy to win. Actually, maybe not. It might end up in a draw, to be honest.
All right.
Yeah.
If he was in a block of ice and we were trying to make shots.
Well, if only his feet are in the block of ice and he's trying to make shots, his arms are still available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so maybe
lose.
a jump shot would be hard, but who knows what his reach is like.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, he probably could go very fast if he used his arms to propel himself on the block of ice down the street.
Maybe he has like stretchy arms like Michael Jordan at the end of Space Jam.
Hell is a cartoon dimension.
Yeah.
Probably.
Hell is probably Toon World. As for my actual competition here, GoldenEye 64 is mentioned, but I think the devil is pretty adept at that. So instead, I would challenge him to the pod racing game. I don't think he's played that.
I would probably just challenge him to Street Fighter 3.
Oh, who would you pick? He would play Akuma, obviously, but who would you play?
Oh, well, see, that's a trick, because Akuma isn't overpowered in that one. I would pick Ken because he's my main.
Nice.
And I would just use my strong grasp fundamentals to hopefully eke out a win. I'd probably lose, though. Sorry, Keo.
Yeah, Kyo's soul is the only one at despair on this one, so I'm not super worried about losing, but I am going to try and fight for my friend.
Okay, also, we kind of neglected that this was supposed to be a 3-on-1 matchup, but doesn't really matter, does it?
Well, I figured all four of us would be playing Pod Racer.
I guess we could just beat his ass.
Oh yeah, we could just kick it. We could just kick his little tiny red ass.
Yes.
Yeah. We could
So
probably...
you want to just do fisticuffs?
Yeah, I mean...
Let's just beat the shit out of the devil. Fucking kick his ass.
We don't need you anymore, old man. We have the dollar to worship and corrupt us.
And listen, you know why we're able to take out the devil? It's because we're the bad boys of podcasting.
It's the 90s, baby.
There's no one in the world badder than us at podcasting.
Yeah.
Wait, that might not have been right. Anyway, thank you for your email, Gio. And hopefully it never comes to us having to beat the shit out of the devil, but we're prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And with that all out of the way, let's get to the tweet of the week, huh, Star?
All right, this tweet of the week comes from The Purpose of Money at @purpose_money.
Okay.
My son just asked me if he can watch the show Wake, aka at woke Hulu. Raffle, raffle, raffle.
Now these are raffle emojis, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the question I have here is, like, what's funny?
he thinks the show Woke is Wake.
Yeah,
he
thinks the show's called Wake. That's funny. It's like a hee-haw moment.
They're very similar sounding words.
Thought it was a typo.
Oh.
Oh. I mean, I don't know why they would put woke in quotes and then say AKA at woke Hulu.
So how young is this son where, like, is it like...
Woke doesn't seem like a show I would watch with anybody under the age of, I don't know, 12.
Yeah, and how do you misread the word woke to say wake?
Yeah, you'd have to be... I'm assuming this kid is like, I don't know, 5 or 6 at the oldest.
Yeah, that's funny, talking cartoons.
Yeah, I would not let my child look at Hulu at any cost. I would have my kid just strictly on the Bible, to be honest with you guys.
Would you sacrifice yourself to the devil?
Yeah.
I would sacrifice him to God, as the Bible says.
Mm-hmm. I would sacrifice you to the devil.
Or I would be ready to do it, like, right about to do it before God stops me.
Yeah, of course. Well, of course. You have to, like, be ready to do it right before God's like, no, no, no.
Just kidding.
This was a test. You passed. I love you. Yeah.
Damn.
It was a social experiment. You just got pranked.
How great would it be if God was like, Isaac, you just got punked.
Prank gone wrong. My humans are killing each other?
Like like Moses is done walking in the desert for like 100 years or whatever, and God's just like, Moses, my dude, you've just been punked. Israel's been here the whole time, my man.
I just want to make like a series of like YouTube thumbnails where, from the perspective of God, like, human built tower knocked over, LOL.
Noah, my man, you just got punked. Humans have been alive all this time.
Have they? I don't think that's the case at all.
Well, presumably there were humans before Noah's Ark happened.
Oh, yeah, but afterwards.
Well, yeah, it was... what an odd story. It was just Noah repopulating the Earth.
Yeah. That's a pro-incest story right there, if I ever saw one.
Especially since, like, I think there's a story right after that where, like, Noah gets drunk and his, like, daughters walk in on him, like, naked.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they're punished.
They immediately burst into flames.
Yeah. Who's the guy whose wife turns into a pillar of salt? I feel like God punked him on that one.
I think that was Job.
No, it wasn't Job. But Job is the ultimate punked, that's for sure.
Was it Charles?
Yeah, it was Charles. First Charles 23, I think is where it happens. Anyway, I'm going to tune out on this tweet. Sorry.
Yeah. What is the purpose of money?
That's a really good question. I should follow this account and find out.
Yeah.
I'm tuning out on this tweet. Sorry, I didn't get it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the tweet of the week. Better luck next time, Purpose Money. And
Rest in peace.
With that out of the way, let's get to what the Rapple's talking about, huh?
Oh.
Yeah, it's this segment. We do it at the start of the podcast because we want to get you guys a little taste of what the world around us thinks of this show that we're watching this week. Woke.
We want to edge you.
That's right.
We get to the main TV climax.
Yeah, because if you haven't listened to TV Tuners before, we get to the show at the end here, like near the last segment is our show. And, we want to give you a little taste of what other people thought before you hear what we thought about it.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, here's the Rabble, where we discuss what other people have said. You guys want to go first? I'm willing to if you guys don't want to, but...
I can go first. Okay.
Right.
So, and a dramatic twist, we're actually going to be reading 2 negative IMDb reviews this week.
Okay. Was the show just like filled with negative reviews?
No, the positive ones are just really boring.
That makes sense.
All right, so this one is from a user called Redneck McPoopy.
Okay. I'm already listening.
The title of this one is, I checked out right when the cop scene started.
What?
How woke of them.
Warning, spoilers. I was watching because it had mixed reviews.
Ooh.
It had a very slight comical value.
Oh.
I kept watching, and he got his headphones knocked off of him and was told to put his hands up. The cops pulled him to the ground and handcuffed him.
Mm-hmm.
Then said it was the wrong guy. Not the mugger. It was played for laughs. It wasn't played for laughs, rather.
Oh, okay.
Because you could... It wasn't played for laughs, because you could have fit tons of jokes in there.
What?
But there weren't any.
Excuse me? You could have fit tons of jokes in that situation. Nothing funny here.
Oh my god.
This kind of content puts a bad picture of cops into people's heads. The percent of cops that are racist isn't more than other jobs. They are actually a group high in minorities.
Okay.
And even if the cop was racist, they still wouldn't have knocked off his headphones.
What?
Or
yeah, you're right. They would have just
ground.
shot him with the headphones on.
Probably would have told him to put his hands behind his back and then brought him to the station in handcuffs.
As always
Slight comical
happens.
value. 2
Yeah,
out of
very
10.
true. Cops are very great at de-escalation processes.
I would actually argue that scene wasn't brutal enough. Those police were way too soft on him.
Yeah.
In real life, they would have probably just choked him out a little bit.
Well,
and they would have brought him in even if he was the wrong guy.
I think the argument that could be made, and we'll probably talk about it a little
Yes.
bit more on the episode, is that there was already a whole crowd of people there.
Mm.
So I assume that might have made them a little less gung-ho. But yeah, Redneck McPoopy, indeed.
All right, so where would you have inserted a joke into that scenario?
Maybe like he poops his pants.
Maybe he can't breathe. Maybe that's a punchline to something. Maybe he's shouting that. I'm not sure why he wouldn't be able to breathe, but maybe he says, "Don't tase me, bro." That'd be very funny, right?
Oh no, what if his friend shows up like he does to like save him or whatever, or like help out, and then he gets tased and he's like, "Don't tase me, bro." That's funny.
Yeah, that'd be laughing.
Yeah, because he's a wacky white guy.
Yeah, that's funny to see. The situation's a lot less tense if that happens.
Or maybe one of the police officers has a shotgun to his head. That's kind of funny because it's a gross, excessive use of force.
That sounds realistic to me.
Maybe he's standing by some stairs and a cop tackles him, but the cop rolls and falls down the stairs.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's good
ouch!
stuff.
My ass!
So some slapstick thrown in there of cops getting mildly wounded.
Yeah. Like maybe a cop like goes to fire his gun and then his pants fall down for some reason. And he's like, oh! And he shoots in the sky.
Maybe like we spend several minutes on the shot of him with the headphones looking at the board and like the police are surrounding him. There's a sniper set up. They've got the blockaded and the news reporters. And that tank rolls in. and points his barrel at him.
Just do like
That'd
some
be
like
funny.
airplane shit where it's just like it's really absurd, like how many people are, how many police are in there.
Yeah, there's a special forces guy, and he's setting up like balloon duplicates of himself, a la Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, and you like hear like the voice of Kiefer Sutherland like over one of their comms being like, "Take the shot."
No!
There's a helicopter overhead, and like a guy rappels down from a rope and lands in front of him.
Yeah, and then like Batman is behind him, like, "You gotta give in. Turn yourself in."
The lights just go out, and you see Batman's eyes behind him. And he swear to me. What is this even? What is reality anymore?
See, that would be funny. That would be good. I guess Redneck McPoopy was right. Could add some jokes in there. I would say it wouldn't fit with the tone they were going for, but sure. I'll go, and then Ster can go last. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So there's an interesting thing here on these Rotten Tomatoes for Woke. Normally I don't say the entire percentage because who could really care? But Woke has a 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty low for TV shows. They're usually higher on the tomato meter. A lot of the positive reviews for this show establish that there are problems with it in the little blurb.
Interesting.
This is a good example, which is the positive review that I'm going to read by Bill Goodykunst.
Okay, real name.
It might as well be a real name. He is a top critic, so I'm assuming that they know what Goodykunst is good for, which is reviewing. He's from the Arizona Republic, who writes, it gets in its own way a little too often, and its 8 episodes are probably twice as many as it really needs, but it's still a show to watch and learn from. Hey, Bill, you're right. It is a show.
It is a show we can watch, and you'll learn some stuff from it, I guess.
Congratulations on that great last name, by the way, Bill.
Good luck.
And then we've got this negative review here from Tom Bay Obenson of IndieWire, who writes, Woke has a serious spine, but the tone is light, even goofy, as the dramedy is so caught up in what it thinks are teachable moments that it often doesn't succeed at either. The rating for this is a C.
Ooh, interesting.
So it seems like there's a lot of, even the positive reviews for Woke are sort of just like, yeah, like this could do better, which isn't a great sign. But
I've got a review very much in that note.
Okay.
From IMDb user Bugsy, which sounds vaguely familiar. Have we read one from him before?
Is this like the bug version of Bubsy?
No. Anyways, he writes, Go woke, go broke.
Oh, okay.
The Energizer Bunny keeps on going and going. This show kept going and going in the wrong direction. The first 2 episodes were okay, interesting concept, but past that the writing became crappy and boring. The acting also went downhill. The only positive thing I appreciated was the cinematography, very cool angles with vibrant colors, and have the feel of a well-shot movie. Other than that, it's garbage and a waste of time. 13 out of 22 people found this helpful. 2 out of 10 stars. What is this about? What is the Energizer Bunny simile going on here?
Yeah, that doesn't come back in the end at all.
Is the Energizer Bunny going to talk to him at some point?
So, I mean, is it saying that the show continued having episodes throughout his run?
I guess that was the problem, was that it kept going. He doesn't say what the problem is.
Yes. He just says the writing became crappy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Acting also went downhill. What does that mean?
Yeah,
the
like
lead just gave up and started saying everything in a flat affect, like me.
Like I guess I'm just confused by it. I guess I mean the cinematography is pretty nice in this, I will say. But yeah, I mean, okay. Thanks, Bugsy.
I think the show has more establishing shots than The Room.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
I think you're right. We'll get to that, because that is it for the rabble. If you're interested in what we thought, stay tuned a little later. We'll be checking in on
news.
That's right. Well, actually, first let's talk about what we watched this week.
Oh, I watched Mobile Suit Gundam, the 8th MS team.
Oh, okay, back on your Gundam shit.
An An original video animation produced from 1996 to 1998.
Ooh, okay.
It's straight mid. I watched 4 episodes of it, blackout and stoned, and I don't remember anything of it. And you know what? That didn't really negatively impact my viewing experience. You can just sleep on this one.
Ooh, okay.
It's
So
very,
it's like
it's aesthetically pleasing and nothing else.
Is it better or worse than Unicorn?
Unicorn is kind of like has cool fights and whatnot and looks very nice. And it only kind of really shits the bed in the last episode.
This one's just a big nothing.
I guess the one thing this has over Unicorn is it actually explains who its main antagonist is, instead of just leaving that in like a reference book somewhere.
Oh, okay.
That is nice. I like it when a story tells me stuff about its characters.
No, I hate that.
Yeah, I like total mystery on everything that's happening.
For reference, Gundam Unicorn has this character who looks just like Char, but his name is Full Frontal.
Okay.
And there's this huge mystery about whether or not he's the second coming. Is he Char? Is he a clone? Is he a cyborg? And he dies at the end of the series, and the show never says what his deal was.
So the guidebook is like, what's his deal?
Yeah, it's just like he's a clone. He was made as a corporate representation of Char.
And they decided to name him Full Frontal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's name Stairmaster Full Frontal from now on.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's name Stairmaster Full Frontal with Samantha Bee.
No, thank you. I do not want to be associated with the liberal comedy sphere.
So I watched The Boys.
Boa?
Yeah. I watched, I didn't watch the latest episode, which came out
Shame!
the day before I think we were recording this, but
Shame on you.
I did catch up with episodes 3 and 4 of this new season of The Boys. Good stuff.
Wow, I can't believe it.
I'm an official Stormfront stan.
Oh no.
Oh no, please no. But go on.
Not really. No, it's good stuff. I'm gonna avoid. I know when we were talking about Better Call Saul back and earlier this year, we were doing spoilers just willy nilly, or I was at least. I'm gonna avoid that with this one and just say that episode 4 provides Anthony Starr with some material that I wasn't expecting, but I enjoyed nonetheless.
Yes, 10 out of 10.
Stuff.
You gotta trust the holy trinity of Toon.
Yeah. And that's it. Unless Kia's got something.
Yeah, I watched some more of that Fire Force program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's wild. It's good.
Oh, okay. Wild good time.
So is
The
it
latest cup. Oh, go ahead.
is it true that they have forgotten how to live in a world without fire?
Yes, they have.
Oh no.
Oh, that's no good.
They all their power comes from fire. Like literally.
Wow. You hate to see it.
Yeah, so the latest couple of episodes, they just decided to put a spotlight on these two. They're kind of like side characters, I guess. And they just went on this adventure, and it's like crazy.
Wow.
They're like, wow, good times.
It's like, just imagine if, like, you were listening to the TV Tuners podcast, and there's an episode where, I don't know, Geo and Elle went to some, like, temple and
never gonna
beat up
happen.
a bunch of guys.
Yeah, they're two diametrically opposed guests. They'll never meet.
Yeah, that'd be like, you know how you have locked closet episodes of a sitcom where two characters who hate each other learn to overcome their differences in order to survive.
Yeah, they
wouldn't
kill each
survive.
other.
They would. Yes. Well, Al would kill Geo.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to say who was going to kill who, but
good luck.
I guess it's not a. It's a moot point since Elle is dead.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, I should have said Connie and Geo, since Elle is in fact dead.
Yeah.
Well, Connie and Geo are good friends.
Yeah, and, you know, they could storm a temple together and slaughter a whole bunch of guys.
I thought it was an abandoned temple. Are they doing colonization?
Well, it's abandoned now.
Oh my god.
No, it's not colonization.
Oh.
So
the temple are the guys who are in charge, and they were storming their place.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, with all that out of the way, let's get to the news, huh?
No, no more.
You want to talk
Next
about the
segment. Next segment.
news? You want to skip the news and go straight to our ad?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll be back with the news.
Wow, I didn't know I had this power.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't immediately abuse it.
All right. Hey, Dr. Feels Good.
Hello.
I brought Swanson here.
Winning season returns in my bookie.
Oh.
Winning season returns in my bookie.
Swanson has this, I want to say it's some kind of verbal tick, and he's only able to repeat some kind of statement about winning season. And
winning season
I'm just really at my wit's end here. Can you help us, Doctor, please?
I've seen this before once in my time at Academy. Doctor
winning
Academy.
Season returns at my bookie.
Doctor Academy. Okay.
You see, the problem. This man has realized that winning season means doubling your first deposit.
Winning season returns at my bookie.
This is a classical neurological disorder. This man's brain is struggling to deal with the concept that winning season means Survivor, Super Contest, and Squares.
Winning season returns at my bookie.
Okay, but how can you make him stop saying that?
Well, at my bookie, it is time to celebrate the NFL season. We could try that.
Winning season returns at my bookie.
So what you're saying is that we need to get him onto my bookie?
Yes. You can sign up now and make your first deposit to get a dollar-for-dollar match all the way up to $1,000. And grab yourself a free entry into the famed My Bookie Super Contest. I need to warn you, though, your insurance will not cover this.
Where did you say you went to medical school?
Winning season returns at my bookie.
Pillopolis.
Okay. So
it's a Princeton. It's Ivy League in the Pacific American Northeast.
Oh, all right. So tell me more about this treatment plan you're going to put Swanson on.
It's simple. To play in the contest, all Swanson here has to do is pick 5 NFL games against the spread. And you'll have a chance to win $1,000 guaranteed in cash prizes. Can you do that, lad?
100,000 guaranteed in cash prizes at my bookie.
See, he gets it. We're making progress.
I mean, I guess so, but I don't know. This sounds so unaffordable.
No. You see, the best part is my bookie has thousands of bets to choose from. From the full NFL slate and the NBA playoffs, from live betting to championship futures, every play that you would want to make is waiting there. So don't worry about the price. Don't you get it?
Okay.
You just have to make your pick, win big, and collect your cash.
Winning season returns at my bookie.
No, he's regressing. Quick, use this promo code TV Tuners and double your first deposit.
What? Promo code?
It's a no-brainer. Do it now.
Wow, thanks, Doc. I'm cured. Your winning season can begin today, only at my bookie.
Quick, sedate him.
Wow, good ads.
I'm a little concerned.
Yeah? What are you concerned with?
I don't know. It just seems like your mental health is rapidly deteriorating, Swanson.
It's okay.
Oh, it's happening for everybody, I think.
Yes.
Anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's get to the news, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So as you guys may already be aware, the election is coming.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And election season is here, and that means that we get a bunch of, like, painful satire from people who are, like, trying to be like, hey, look, both sides are wacky.
Joe Biden drives like this. Well, Donald Trump drives like this.
Yeah, pretty much. And Fox has decided to get in on that game by creating a puppet-filled satirical election special.
Oh, no.
You get it? Because puppet, Trump said that one time about being a puppet, and now they're all puppets.
I thought because they're all puppets of capital.
Well, I mean, that would be the actual joke if someone were willing to be that bold and brave and make that.
Ooh.
But
If someone was woke.
instead, the joke is that, like, oh, they're puppets. The special is going to be called Let's Be Real.
Uh-huh.
And it'll air on Fox, being produced by Robert Schmeigel, who is the guy behind Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, if you've ever heard of that.
I thought Triumph wrote his own material.
Like the dog?
Yeah. I mean, he is an insult comic dog.
No, he has a ghostwriter, and his name is Robert Schmeigel.
Oh, fuck.
Now, Stair, let me tell you about dogs.
Yes?
So, typically, dogs, I don't know how to explain this to him, Swanson.
Dogs don't write.
At my bookie? Oh?
Yeah, dogs don't write.
That would make sense. They don't have fingers.
Yeah.
No, like they don't have the capability of.
Yeah. They can't hold the pen.
No, I mean like mentally, they.
Yeah, like mentally
Swanson,
they are deficient in that category.
It sounds like some race science stuff.
Well, I mean, I guess in a way, but it is just a species thing.
Ooh. I don't know if you can be saying that in 2020, fam.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if we've reached the dog discourse yet.
I think dogs should be allowed to vote.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I think? I think that you know how we have police dogs already.
Yes.
yeah.
I think they should just all be dogs.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. A police force made entirely of dogs?
So just like the ending of Silent Hill 2.
Well, yeah, but these are just like regular dogs.
I mean, it was
They're not
also
hellhounds.
No. I mean this dog ending to Silent Hill 2, where you find
we're-
the control center for Silent Hill. And it's a dog at the levers.
Yeah. It couldn't be
Yeah,
worse.
it's
You
just like-
all along?
Just like that, except the dogs just want to be petted and treats.
Yeah. So, Let's Be Real will, this is a direct quote, cover politics, pop culture, and the 2020 election through topical sketches featuring puppets, celebrity cameos, and remote pieces. Fox released like a little trailer here with Joe Biden and Donald Trump's puppets, and they look like them, sure, whatever.
I don't know how to satirize Trump at all. I don't think it's possible to satirize Trump. I think people will try it, and it doesn't work very well.
Yeah, it's all just like lame jokes at this point. You can't it's hard to satirize a guy who is just like there.
Satire of America. He's the perfect American president when you think about it. He breaks America down to its barest essentials. And that is the heart of comedy.
And how do you actually satirize Trump and then also next to him satirize Biden? It's like, yeah, Trump may be a pathological liar and a fascist, but look at Biden. Sometimes he says the wrong thing.
Then he might be
and his
80% as racist.
Yeah.
No,
It's 80%. Come on.
80% is the most possible, which is saying something given. But also there's appearances from a puppet of Mike Pence who is horse-free, which that seems like an easy joke you could have made, just having him like chase a puppet horse.
What if he's like a majestic centaur puppet?
That would be fun. I doubt they're going to make that joke. And a puppet version of Kanye West whose hands are gesturing towards his phone.
I think the
common.
recurring theme of TV tuners is that we need to be writing television, not the people.
I think making Pence a centaur would be way too positive of a message.
Yeah, centaur. Him. Yeah, I don't want to. Like, he should be a gross, like, horse person.
All right, so he doesn't have the six-pack.
Yeah.
But he still has kind of a tight tummy. How about that?
That's still way too good.
Yeah. Anyway, this looks like it's going to be like the typical sort of like, aren't these two candidates so strange and weird and totally the same?
Yeah.
It's really just a choice you make.
Yeah, we're screwed.
I'm kind of picturing like they put on this puppet show and they act like it's going to be funny, but then when they actually get into it, it's just dead serious.
Yeah, like the puppets take control of the actors.
Donald Trump sexually assaults Joe Biden.
and then Biden does it back.
Yes.
So that's just having sex.
Interesting. What should think about? Best wishes.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, but I also don't want to push back on it.
Sex isn't real.
So yeah, we have that to look forward to. I'm sure it'll be a rip-roaring good time from Fox, the creators of shows, or the current errors of shows like WWE Friday Night SmackDown and Last Man Standing.
And ouch, my ass!
I'm sure that is a new program they're putting in development, yeah.
I would watch that reality show.
What is the reality show?
I guess it's like obstacle courses, and if you fail them, you injure your ass horribly when you fall on it.
Like, all of the obstacle courses are, like, targeted to, like attack your butt?
No, it's like your dot. You know, I like how in the Moving Castle, like, there's a little cutout, you have to jump in the hole.
Oh, yeah.
But every time when the person falls, they land on their ass somehow.
So it's like Wipeout, but specifically for, like, ass-based injuries.
Yes, ass out.
Yeah, that's a good show. I would watch a show like that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of shows that we can no longer watch, ABC recently announced that Stumptown has formally been canceled, despite already being renewed.
Wait, hold on, what?
Yeah, for those who might not remember, former episode of the show, Stumptown, is about a detective lady played by Kobe Smulders from How I Met Your Mother and the Avengers franchise, as she, like, is a detective with PTSD, and she's going around detecting and stuff.
So what, did they just change their mind and the show was renewed? They're just like, actually, never mind. Canceled.
Yeah, the show, we weren't too hot on the show, although I feel like it got mildly positive reviews from what I remember seeing. But ABC was hot on the show, despite it being sort of on the bubble in terms of ratings. They gave it a full review in March, which I am assuming was around the time where they thought, like, they'd be back in production by now.
Mm-hmm.
But that hasn't been the case, and I assume coronavirus issues are what eventually led to the downfall of this show after it being renewed.
Rest in peace.
I don't know what. Maybe the show's filmed in Canada. That seems to be a prevailing theme.
Oh yes, Americans aren't allowed in Canada anymore.
Yeah. It could be a thing of the cost of the show outweigh keeping it around with expensive contracts that need renewing and stuff.
Yeah, the guy playing the brother asked for too much, and they couldn't replace him. Probably.
And there's been other shows that have been like this. There's I Am Not Okay With This from Netflix, which got canceled after being renewed. Amazon had a whole mini-series that was picked up and then immediately canceled without airing a single installment.
What? What's going on here? It's almost like people are running out of money.
Yeah, it's almost like people have to do some cost cutting, and ABC decided to cut the show that was not drawing in the biggest ratings.
Mm-hmm.
That they seem to renew seemingly because of, like, positive reception. ABC does say it's reportedly shopping the series around to other possible outlets, probably to make up for the loss it already made on the show, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I don't feel any sort of feelings about that, personally, because I thought the show was boring.
Yeah.
It's a tune out.
Yeah, I'm never going to feel super bad about a big, like, broadcast network losing out on money, or, like, I guess I feel kind of bad for these actors, but they can probably just go and be in better things, hopefully. So, you know, things I might be interested in. But if you're a fan of Stumptown, then I guess our condolences to you. You guys want to talk about our favorite streaming service?
Netflix?
The Mandalorian?
No, it's Quibi!
Quibi!
Quibi's kind of been out of the news recently, you know, just sort of silently bleeding money.
Oh.
And I'm assuming...
Just lying in the corner.
Yeah.
Brett's getting slower.
It did get nominated for a bunch of Creative Arts Emmys, and actually won some when the B-tier Emmys recently had their night of awards and whatnot. The one that doesn't get broadcast and just gets talked about later in the news, you know.
You mean the Bemmys?
That's right. The Creative Arts Emmys happened this past weekend, and Quibi won. 2 Emmys, in fact.
Okay,
What?
Swanson, can you please explain to me the idea of the creative whatever Emmys? Like, why?
It's for people who work behind the scenes. That's
polls.
really it. It's for people who work behind the scenes or work in smaller tier television stuff like online exclusives, or in Quibi's case, it's like short form comedy or drama series.
I thought they already did that, like, by giving best screenplay.
Well, yeah, but there's a bunch of people who work behind the scenes who do like design and like costuming and stuff who I don't think get put on the Emmy broadcast.
Picking up boxes and putting them down somewhere else.
Yeah, we get they're like the Best Boy Awards happen here.
How do they award those things though? We don't see them.
They have a contest where they find the heaviest rock.
Yeah.
See who can and can't pick it up.
The Emmys do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
also
for
a thing
testing
for like, for instance, just looking at the list here, like CNN won awards for their Apollo 11 documentary, and these awards were for picture editing, sound editing, and sound mixing. So it's stuff that like doesn't get put on the main broadcast because it's boring to the common consumer.
And us.
I mean, yeah, probably.
But it makes them real happy who get the award. They're like, wow, I got a B-tier Emmy.
Yeah, exactly. It's also a way for them to be like, hey, look, our program is Emmy Award winning.
Wow.
Yeah. For instance, The Mandalorian won for special visual effects.
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah.
which special visual effect do you think it was?
Probably Baby Yoda.
When are we going to get a podcast Emmy?
Well, those are potties, Keo. They're a whole separate thing. And if you want to nominate us, I think you can do that. Sure, why not?
Oh, you're talking about Randall's Radio Award, right?
That's right.
Good old Randall.
Yeah. The RRAs. Quibi won for Best Actor and Actress in a Short-Form Comedy or Drama Series. This went to Lawrence Fishburne and Jasmine Jones for Free Ray Shaw.
Did they?
Which I guess was a show about someone who needed freeing. Presumably. The name of the actual show was #Free Ray Shaw.
So I assume Lawrence Fishburne is breaking someone out of prison, presumably with a lot of martial arts.
Maybe, but I don't think that's really what the Emmys go for when they're giving out best categories. Rayshawn Morris, an African-American Iraqi war veteran, finds himself holed up in his apartment along with his family after an altercation with an overzealous NOPD cop. As he prepares to make his last stand, Rayshaw turns to social media, and the help of a sympathetic police lieutenant, tries to get him to clear his name before it's too late. So Lawrence Fishburne plays that sympathetic lieutenant. And it looks like Jasmine Cephas Jones, who won Best Actress, is playing his wife.
Oh.
Kind of messed up that they didn't give it to the guy who plays Rayshawn, but alright. I mean, Lawrence Fishburne is the bigger star.
He's the big name, he gets the reward. That's how it goes.
So, thanks to Lawrence Fishburne, Quibi, and of course Jasmine Cephas Jones, Quibi has 2 Emmys now to their name. A fun little fact for when we do their in memoriam in a year or two.
No, this is proof that Quibi is going to be a legitimate, long-lasting enterprise here.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sort of just get it going here.
These trophies will last forever.
Yeah. In heartbreaking news, Better Call Saul also won a Creative Arts Emmy for Best Short-Form Comedy or Drama for the web series Legal Ethics with Kim Wexler. Feels like a double painful stab, given that they didn't give Ray Seahorn an actual Emmy nomination.
Ooh, yeah, we need to cancel the Emmys.
Yeah.
Find Emmy. I want to talk to them.
Yeah, I really want to pick Emmy's brain about what's going on with their awards. So yeah, congratulations, Emmy. You are now You're now not Academy Award winner. You're Emmy Award winner, Quibi. That's how we'll always refer to you.
Congratulations, Emmy. You're an Academy Award-winning jackass. Fuck you.
You guys think this will, save Quibi now?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Well, spoilers, nothing can save any of us.
Time comes for us all.
Yes, and time will soon come for Quibi.
Yeah.
All right, well...
The sun is the same in a relative way, but you're older, shorter of breath, and one day closer to death.
And so is Quibi. So yeah, that's it for the news. Let's move on with a segment that is near and dear to all of our hearts. I'm talking, of course, about trailer blazers. Hit the theme, Keo.
Trailer.
Yeah, short, sweet, to the point. Lets you know what's in it. Yeah, this week we're watching a trailer that everyone's been hammering about, talking about Hammond and Han.
Mm-hmm.
The Mandalorian Season 2.
Yes, Keo. What did you think, Keo Ren?
I was like, wow, there's space, and there's a man, and he's like, "You want me to give this baby to sorcerers?"
Yeah. It is interesting. Keo, you were absent from our Mandalorian episode, so you still haven't seen like any of the Baby Yoda show, right?
He ate the
No, I
cereal.
haven't heard any of the Baby Yoda show at all.
But you have eaten the cereal.
Yeah, I've definitely eaten the cereal, and Baby Yoda is here with me right now.
Oh, wow. Keo is producing a something from his bag, and it is in fact Baby Yoda, as he lives and breathes.
He's a little fussy right now.
Should you be having him? How?
Yeah, I feel like based off of this trailer, the Mandalorian does like a lot of stuff to protect this baby.
Why would it be a problem? I don't understand.
Well, like he's like killing people and stuff, and like blowing people up. And he's, like,
Also,
trying to
that's not
protect
your
the kid.
baby. That's not your baby, Keo.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I took it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure the Mandalorian also just took it. Truly, there are no right sides in this.
Well, yeah, but he took it from people who took that baby from someone else.
I got the stupid baby on auction.
What? That's slavery.
But people want to buy it.
Yes.
Like, a lot of people.
Well, yeah, a lot of people want to buy it when they hear like, "Oh yeah, I got Baby Yoda." Like that's people are interested.
Yes, but think about what it will do to the pod if we get outed as human traffickers.
It's not a human, stupid. It's like a green thing.
I think if anything, it'll increase our visibility.
Yeah, that's just some stupid frog.
Anyway, yeah, the Mandalorian like does some stuff, does some other stuff. There's a wrestling ring, but he doesn't get in it.
Yeah, Disney is coward.
Yeah, RoboCop would get in a wrestling ring.
And the Mandalorian just looks at the ring and he's like, "Huh, don't care."
Yeah. Unless they're like really saving that for the episode itself, it's kind of disappointing that you would tease a wrestling ring and then not put the Mandalorian in it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they were even thinking about that. The idea probably never crossed their mind.
They have a wrestling ring and he's not.
Yeah, it's probably just some white guys who'd never heard of pro wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Because they live in a completely completely airproofed.
Yeah, they never grew up in the 80s or the 90s and therefore never heard about it.
I'm thinking like these are like the most male ass. They've never experienced even the slightest bit of any sort of grunge.
Yeah.
The Pete Buttigieg's of the world.
Oh yeah, Pete Buttigieg is the guy who hasn't heard of wrestling.
And he's writing The Mandalorian.
Dang, that's pretty bad. We also get a short glimpse of Carl Weathers, and he's looking great.
Yes.
Yeah, he's apparently directing an episode of this second season, so
interesting.
But yeah, it looks like standard Mandalorian stuff.
He's got a gun.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned that he has to say "this is the way" twice in the trailer.
Do you think perhaps he'll question whether it's the way or not at some point?
No.
Okay.
He'll probably just agree that this is in fact the way.
It is the way.
Yeah.
This is the way.
I think we get a sole shot of Giancarlo Esposito in this, and that's fun too. I like that he's getting a big come up.
Yes.
He's playing bad guys all over the place.
This is gonna be the year of Geen.
Baby Yoda, be quiet. Baby Yoda, quiet.
Oh,
Be
Baby
careful.
Yoda's... Baby Yoda... Hey, Keo, you're like muffling Baby Yoda there. I don't think that's safe.
I don't think it's
He
safe
needs to
for
be
any
quiet.
of.
Oh, he's choking Stairmaster. Keo, stop.
How? I don't understand. I didn't watch the
Tell him to
Mandalorian.
stop.
Does he have like mind power?
Yeah, tell him to stop. He's using like Jedi powers, Keo.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah, stop, Baby Yoda. Don't kill him.
You?
Well, I told him not to.
Clearly, you look weird.
Baby Yoda, stop killing him. Stop.
He's... Oh. Now he snapped the key. Now he snapped his neck.
Well, I guess he did stop choking him.
I guess that's one way to do it. Wow, Baby Yoda's so, like, coy.
Yeah. I didn't realize that he had like the ability to kill me at any time like that.
Yeah, you really should have watched The Mandalorian before you decided to steal this child.
Yeah, well, I live life on the edge, Swanson. You know that about me.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Baby Yoda can revive him. Oh, wow. He did it.
Oh no! I saw
Wow.
what's on the other side.
Uh-oh. What was it?
A lot of worms.
Oh. I don't like that.
Oh, that's not good.
It makes me want to stay on this side. Alright, well, let's put Baby Yoda to sleep, huh, Keo? Put him in his little crib and let him just sort of rest.
This little hover crib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah, we'll let The Mandalorian rest until it debuts, because we're probably going to have to talk about that.
Or if when he comes to kill us for his baby.
Oh, yeah. And with that out of the way, I think it's time for our main event.
Ooh.
We watched a show, and we're going to talk about it and discuss it. Like, give you the
Yes.
facts and logic that we have. That's right.
Wow, logic and as well as facts?
That's right. Both. This week we watched Woke. Hulu's Woke follows Keith Knight, creator of Toast and Butter, is a black cartoonist on the verge of mainstream success. He prides himself on keeping it light and shies away from taking controversial stances. After being racially profiled by an overly aggressive policeman, the traumatized Keith finds that he's able to see and hear inanimate objects talking to him. Now more sensitive to racism and the everyday microaggressions he tried so hard to avoid acknowledging, Keith must figure out how to maintain his relationships and his career as a woke black man. What'd you guys think of Woke? Did it keep you woke, or did it keep you,
Snoke.
Snoke? Yeah, did it make you Snoke?
I don't.
Why do I do these? There's never a good one. I don't have one planned ever.
I don't even. What was I thinking? Snoke. I was thinking
That's
like
the opposite of woke. It rhymes with it rhymes with woke.
I was
You're thinking of like sleeping,
I was
so that was
thinking, like,
where the S
snoring.
came from. Oh, snoring. Okay,
Snork.
Snorks.
Snork. It turns you to Snork.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take a nap now.
That was a cartoon show, right? The Snorks?
Yeah, that's right.
Probably.
That kind of makes sense because there's animated elements to this show.
Uh-huh.
Man, the Snorks was like a fever dream type program, I think.
Yeah, the Snorks. I'll tell you what. That's a program that someone heard of the Smurfs and then snorted a whole bunch of cocaine and said, "How about Snorks?" They live underwater and they got like straws on their heads.
Meanwhile, the Smurfs was made by some Belgian guy, also doing coke, but he's putting it in water like Sigmund Freud did.
Yeah. So yeah, woke gets off the ground running here, and Stairmaster already mentioned it, but this show, I don't think I've seen a show of more establishing shots than it happens a lot in the first episode, and then like a little less in the second. But there's so many establishing shots. Like I
And
get
also-
it, he lives in San Francisco.
We
Yeah.
need to know exactly where he is, or I'm going to get confused. Okay.
Yeah, it's so many. Like 20% of the show, maybe.
You know what I want
Yeah.
to see though is like a show that does establishing shots for a bunch of scenes, and they're just a different city.
Yeah, like it's just like the show is set in New York, but it's establishing shots of like Toronto.
There's an establishing shot of Tehran.
Yeah, it's
get
establishing shots
the-
of like the Taj Mahal. Okay, hear me out. It's Seinfeld, but all of the establishing shots are in the Middle East.
Oh my! Someone needs to make that edit right now.
Hey, if you're listening and you're able to do that, please do. We'll retweet that like 8 times a day.
I'm picturing like a 10-second long shot of like desert critters with like some tense music playing,
and then it's just like them at a coffee shop.
The camera pans up, and there's just this coffee shop in the middle of the desert.
Well, it's just them at the diner, and they're just like, George is just like,
yes.
I did it again. I'm a sniffer.
Yeah,
I sniff. That's what I do.
Yeah,
I put it in the wrong hole again.
It cuts from the desert to an interior shot of the coffee shop, so we don't actually see the building.
Like it goes to like a shot of like the desert with like some like camels walking by, and then like it cuts to Kramer like jumping into Jerry's apartment, being like, "Hey, Jerry!"
It's like a time lapse shot of this mountain in the desert with the sun rising and setting behind it.
So yeah, there's a lot of establishing shots in this show. Is the point I'm getting at here? So we get introduced to Keith. Keith has not one but 2 wacky roommates.
Ooh.
I guess one is slightly less wacky than the other. But...
He's not really wacky at all. He's kind of more like a straight man. There's kind of a scummy side to him.
Yeah, Clovis, which is a great name.
He's like pre-crisis Slippin' Jimmy.
Yeah. I want to say that the names on this show are pretty fun. You got Clovis, the roommate Gunther, and then you've got Keith Knight. Those are pretty good names.
Yeah, that's a solid 8.5 out of 10 right there on those names.
Yeah. I would say actually, the guy who plays Clovis is probably the guy I was most impressed with acting wise on this show. He's got some good stuff going there. He's
got the easy job. He just has to poke fun at everything.
Yeah. Lamorne Morris is the guy who plays Keith. He's from New Girl and a couple other things.
New Girl, Indiana.
That's right. And he does a pretty okay job with the material he's been given in this. And he's apparently based on a real-life cartoonist, Keith Knight.
Yes, this is apparently based off a graphic novel, if I read the critics correctly.
Yeah, it's apparently based off a graphic novel from him, so that's interesting. Something to think about. So, yeah.
Best wishes.
So... Is the guy he's based off of like schizophrenic? Is that what the story is?
I think he's just depressed, and the talking cartoon objects are a metaphor for his self-doubts.
Presumably.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like a metaphor at all.
Yeah, it seems like he's having a mental breakdown based off of how the show sort of handles it.
Well, you can have a mental breakdown from being depressed.
It's not a mental breakdown, but a psychotic break.
Yeah, considering he's talking to inanimate objects.
Mm-hmm.
In front of other people.
Mm-hmm. And those people can't see the objects, so we're led to believe it is all in his head.
But I'm saying
he's actually experiencing
talking
it.
Objects are saying stuff you might think to yourself if you were depressed. Or do
you think about the systemic racism in society when you're depressed?
A little bit. I would be thinking about it way more if I was not white.
Does depression lead you to punch at an object in the air that's not there?
No. It's a work of... Okay, fine. I guess.
I mean, we get literal shots of him punching objects that are not there. Like, they do take the time to do that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's strictly not a metaphor, but there is an implication that he's physically experiencing hallucinations.
Oh yeah, the characters experience hallucinations, but it's based off the authors. It's like a metaphor for the author's experience.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's what I'm saying.
This is also in line with the like sort of 90s comedy. There's a lot of 90s comedies that are kind of like this, where the comedic thing is that like this guy is doing a bunch of wild things and no one ever asks if he's okay or what's going on with them. They just
that is really weird because it's a 90s plot, but it's presented in like the 2020s aesthetic.
Yeah, like this is like it's kind of like Liar Liar, where Jim Carrey is acting insane. Like he's literally he's like having a mental break clearly, and everyone is like, "Oh wow, well he sure is acting up."
But his power is to tell the truth in Woke. Our hero.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh well, technically Jim Carrey's power or curse was to tell the truth as well.
Oh, I thought it was like Liar Liar was the one where he was the only one who could lie.
No, he was
God.
he was a lawyer, you see, and he lied all the time. So now he has to tell the truth.
I must be thinking
in this case,
of a different movie.
it's not actually compelling him to tell the truth. It's just having him reckon with the truth he's already aware of.
Yeah, that he's been ignoring.
Spoilers, at the end of the episode, he does tell the truth, though, to the world. And he suffers great punishment for it.
Yeah, it's sort of like a hero's journey that he's on. So potential mental illness aside, he is at first just like a cartoonist who's going to make it big.
Mm-hmm. He's getting syndicated, presumably in the newspapers.
Yeah, with his very, very tepid, meaningless
milk or toast.
Yeah,
literally milk toast.
Yeah, milk toast and milk butter.
I could go for some milk toast right now.
Yeah. So, it's literally just like a nothing of a comic. Like, I think there's a hint in the beginning that like his early work was like pretty like radical, but then he just like picked up on like, hey, I should just make like tame jokes and everyone will love this. Because like
it works.
Yeah, it works real well. He gets this syndication deal, and we get like a little look into his life. He's got like a girlfriend. They're thinking of moving in together. Not much comes of that.
Do you think that bread or toast is the top, or do you think that's butter?
Butter would be the top.
What?
Yeah. Toast is sort of, no matter what, toast is the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
sexual.
The two characters in the comic.
Yes.
Toast and butter.
I'm curious how the fandom will draw pornography of them.
There's simply no way that the toast could ever be on top of the butter.
Yeah. Like, that would be so... Like, do you put butter on a plate and then just throw some toast on it? No one does that, right?
You're right. They would have to respect that physical reality.
Yeah. So yeah, his wacky neighbor Gunther, there's a little... It's not even like a subplot, it's just a runner where he's promoting a powdered energy drink that is just cocaine.
Cocaine.
That's a funny little bit here. It's Blake Anderson from Workaholics who's doing this role.
He adamantly denies that it is in fact cocaine, but he will say that it is an extract from a coca plant.
Yes.
In Peru.
So yeah, he has this encounter where he's going around putting up flyers to let people know he's going to be at like this Comic-Con that's going on. And then these like 5 police officers rip his headphones off and sort of turn him around. They're like, "What's in the bag? What do you got in there? We're looking for a mugger. You fit the description." All that jazz.
They throw him to the ground.
Yeah, they handcuff him. His roommate
knock his headphones off.
Yes,
which the cops would never do in real life.
Well, of course, no. As Redneck McPoopy told us, they would never do this.
Yes, they're all germaphobes. They would never touch another human being.
Yeah. Now, Stare, you were pushing back on how this situation went probably better than it normally would.
Yes. I don't think his friend would have been able to do jack shit to save him. Like, especially that hippie look, he wouldn't have gotten very much respect from the cops either.
I don't think his friends did anything to save him at all.
Well, he would have gotten, like, shoved back or something.
Yeah.
The cop would have just cracked him over the head with his baton.
In 2020, yes.
They refrain when there's a crowd around. Stare.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that usually when there's a crowd around, unless it's
give it a couple months.
Yeah. Well, also this was filmed while it is airing during our current era. It was filmed probably in 2019. So
this was a bit too short and fast for my taste. It kind of undersold the impact.
Yeah, it felt like they just wanted to get it out of the way and not like really reckon with it.
Yeah, we need more shots of the guns to emphasize how much in danger he is.
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know.
Like, I felt like he was in danger during that moment, but like the lingering effects aren't like...
You need to punch up the feelings he's feeling for the viewer.
Yeah.
To connect. What do you think, Keel?
I think it was fine. I mean,
okay.
we don't really want.
Oh yeah, you probably don't want to see that.
No, I'm saying for this show, the show has a light tone to it. Really, it's not meant to be like a harrowing tale of a guy with PTSD from cops storming him. So, I think that it was effective enough to give us a few moments of terror that kind of, woke him up.
Yeah. Literally. And that's a thing to talk about, I guess, as well, because one of the critics review that I mentioned from IndieWire mentions that, like, the tone is sort of a little too light for what it's trying to reckon with, maybe.
Well, that's the thing. The experience this guy had in the grand scheme of things was actually fairly minor, right?
Yeah.
He didn't get injured. He didn't actually spend a night in jail. Nothing happened to him except for, he got slammed to the ground, which of course is terrible. But the important thing was that he needs to reckon with the society he's in, not that he was brutalized by the police.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's true. And I guess the story of what they're doing for this, like, I don't know if the show's a miniseries or if it's like the first season. I'm assuming it's the first season they're going for. Is for him to, like, reckon with the fact that, like, he can do more with his actual creative works and voice and whatnot. But yeah, so from there is when we get to, like, the actual sort of wacky element of the show, which is that he starts to see things as animated. There's 2 malt liquor bottles that talk to him, a trash can, and probably one of the funniest scenes of the episode. A trash can talks to him after he goes to his barber, which I had the question of how long had it been since he went to his barber, because it seems like the transfer happened real quick if it's been like a month or so.
Oh, I think that's like from his childhood. Just walking by.
Can we talk about the malt liquor part? Because that kind of threw me off, personally.
That's really oddly specific when the malt liquor made a joke about how it would make you immune to bullets. Because that was a thing during the colonization of Africa. There would be local tribal leaders who would try to lead revolts. And because of their mythic beliefs, they would convince people that they had immunity to bullets.
Don't you think it was more just that he was almost shot by a cop?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, my brain might be too small or too big.
I think the choice of putting them on liquor bottles for me kind of, I don't know, it muddled it a little bit. I thought he was like grappling with alcoholism or something.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. The trash can made it way more clear, yeah. But I think the trash can part is maybe my favorite scene. First off, the trash can is voiced by Cedric the Entertainer, so already a plus. But yeah, he goes to this barber shop that's now been completely, like, gentrified. And, as he goes in, as he, like, leaves after being weirded out by literally all of these, like, white people getting, like, generic, like, haircuts. And he goes and, this trash can starts talking to him, and the trash can's like, "You gotta do the right thing." So he takes out the trash can, and much like the classic Spike Lee film, he tries to throw it through the window, but it just sort of bounces off because it's a plastic trash can.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's probably my favorite bit in the episode. But yeah, he...
That's when we established that these little cartoons that are talking to him are telling him to, get politically active.
Yeah, including his own Sharpie. His marker tells him to get that he has a voice and he needs to, like, speak out.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually his roommates, like, try and figure out what's going on here. And Clovis is like, "You become woke now. You were trying to avoid it for so long, but now you're woke. And at the worst time."
Yeah, and his wokeness comes in the form of actual hallucinations. This is definitely him hallucinating for real.
Maybe it's like magical realism. Maybe Clovis has experienced this.
I mean, I'm sure magical realism is what they're going for, but no one seems to establish no one else seems to, like, pay attention. It's a classic, like, comedy thing, especially, like, I just remembered a lot of 90s movies did this sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, it is sort of like an actual psychotic break. And when you look back on all of those other movies, they also are probably all having psychotic episodes. But, the show isn't really worried about that at all. It's just like, you're supposed to just sort of roll with it, which, yeah, fine. That's fine enough for this. But Clovis mentions that, like, hey, listen, the majority of those people who read your little comic strip, yeah, they're not interested in you speaking about, like, these issues at all. Like,
That is right.
Yeah, he's completely right. Because I don't think anyone, like, I'm pretty sure everyone would immediately have something to say if Garfield showed up one day and was like, police brutality is real. I think people would be like, what's happening to Garfield?
I would love to see that.
I mean,
imagine
yes.
a 60-page spread of Garfield lecturing John about
of course,
brutality.
John did not fucking get it. He's not with the program at all.
Of course, no, not at all.
John thinks we can just vote to solve all the problems.
John says all lives matter.
Oh,
the last panel is like John saying like, "Wow, Garfield, you say the darndest things."
John's just like, but they're so violent. How's that going to accomplish anything?
I could see like a really like obscure or like a really like wild like Heathcliff cartoon where he's like at a protest or something,
and he's wearing a helmet that says Kaepernick on it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And like the old guy who I guess is like his owner or whatever is always like, oh, he's always into he's always into speaking out. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and then there's like a picture of like the last one was a picture of the moon, and it has like a black like a fist on it or something.
Yeah. So yeah, his buddy Clovis speaks pretty much the truth, and then we get this weird sort of mixing of metaphors here where Keith equates wokeness to the red pill from Matrix, which maybe not so much these days.
No, let's take it back. Let's reappropriate it.
I mean, yeah, sure, if that's what you want to go for, but yeah.
Remember #Blue Pill? That was fun.
Yeah, back in the day.
Also, it's one of my favorite joke was Gunther. That's his name.
Yeah.
He hears this discussion. And he's like, "Oh, I've got both the pills in my room. If you want to experiment."
Yeah, it's good stuff. I wonder what happens if you take both pills. Do you just like die immediately?
Oh, that's what we call dialectics.
Yeah.
A little reference for
Expand
all the
on
friends on Twitter there who read books.
Expand on that.
Okay, so there's this guy in the 1800s named Hegel.
Okay.
And he believed that reality metaphysically would see contradictions between opposing forces, the thesis and the counter thesis. And through the conflict, they would produce a synthesis. So
what you're saying is that you can both be awake and asleep at the same time?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Yeah, me either. Wild stuff, man.
Crazy stuff. Stay safe out there, man.
Truly something to think about. So we get to the big set piece of the episode, pretty much, which is him at his Comic-Con panel here. We get yeah, it's called Golden Con for copyright. And they have the people who are.
I think we got to kind of establish the stakes here.
Yeah,
because this toast and butter thing is looking to be a big cash cow here.
Yeah, they're like trying to like they're putting it like on bread and like trying to like make as many deals as possible to like get it out there and like giving it the Garfield treatment pretty much. Sears
is accidentally selling erotic fan art merchandise of it.
Yeah, which is like begs the question: when was the last time that like a comic strip was that popular?
Tails Gets Trolled.
That was all over the place. They put that on like in like storefronts.
I mean, culturally, not financially, but I mean, it did make big waves, socially speaking.
On Something Awful forums,
yes,
maybe.
The center of culture.
Yeah, for some people, maybe.
But in actual culture, like people out on the street, if you ask 10,000 people on the street what it is, you're going to get 10,000 people saying, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. Was the Boondocks the last like super?
Yeah, I guess.
Like I can't think of another one.
I can't either.
Calvin and Hobbes.
They're dead.
Yeah.
Newspapers are dead. Comic strips are dead.
Like also, this guy should just be a digital comic artist, right? Like he should just be. He should just be releasing stuff online.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that he decides to do later. I don't know. But this show seems to be strangely, despite being in 2020, strangely averse to the current like idea of online comic strips, which have been around for so long at this point that like
it's kind of bizarre. The only mention of the internet I think I observed in this was them showing a YouTube video.
Yes, when he becomes a meme.
Yeah, he becomes a meme due to what happens here at the Comic-Con, where he decides to listen to his marker and goes on this whole rant about the system. And he has this great bit where he asked this guy who's in a burnt toast costume why blackface was a good choice. And the guy's like, "Hey, it's a San Francisco, man. We don't see color here."
Mm.
And I like this bit a lot where he's going on his rant and he's clearly having like some sort of break. But the thing I wasn't sure about was the constant cuts to the reporter character just sort of nodding. I understand, I guess,
like
a little
Jack
bit
Nicholson and Anchor Management.
Yes, like I understand a little bit why they were doing it to establish this character or whatever. Which this wasn't the same lady who was talking to him at the beginning of the comic book shop, was it?
I think it was.
Maybe. But it's
did we mention her? She's like the one who reads into it.
Yeah, who like she reads into his early work and is like, "Listen, you're like saying stuff, right?" And he's like, "I'm not much of a. I don't handle that stuff."
She's also reading into Toast and Butter.
Oh, yes.
And maybe tapping into some like subconscious stuff that our hero hasn't realized yet.
Yeah, she specifically mentions something about an issue or a strip where Toast is burnt and then sort of shaved off to make lighter, which is something that actually happens to Keith.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. That was also a pretty funny bit where the ad executives that he's speaking with for his like comic book thing are like, they show a picture of him and they've clearly lightened his skin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He says he looks like Sammy Davis Jr.
Not as funny as later on though, when they darken it.
Yeah. We'll get to that. So yeah, he has this whole rant here, and then he pretty much ruins his chance. His friends and his girlfriend are like, "Hey, listen, you'll probably bounce back." And he's like, "Yeah, probably not." And that's sort of where we end that first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, sorry. We end with a bit of a, like, real... This last bit, I think, is, like... It's funny, but it's also, like, pretty brutal. Where he goes back to where the incident happened with the police officer, and then he encounters the mugger that they were actually looking for. The camera work here makes a good point of showing that they don't look anything alike, first off. And that the mugger just mugs him, but then finds out he's broke, so he takes his like bus card, I think.
Yes.
And then he's like, "Hey, listen, keep your head up, man," and leaves.
What a charismatic mugger.
Yeah. Also, so very strange for him to show up at the place where he knew a big search for him was going on. Really rubbing it in people's faces.
He's really bold.
Yeah. I like that it doubles both as a pretty brutal gag on the fact that like how they were looking for someone who didn't even look like him, and also how they didn't even catch him. They didn't even find him. After the entire situation that went down, they didn't even get the guy.
If he looked even somewhat like him, he would have been booked probably.
Yeah.
Spent a week in jail.
There's probably a guy who looks like him who's in jail right now who they think is the mugger, and then the actual one is. Yeah.
He already confessed.
Yeah. Yeah, because his overworked DA was like, "Listen, you just got to make a plea." So yeah. Anyway, we don't get that. We get to the second episode, which is I think a little weaker, but we'll get into it.
We might all agree at the end, but I think after that first episode, this would have been better as a movie than a TV series. Like his arc in the first episode could have just been a film in and of itself.
Yeah, like a sort of like a "sorry to bother you" type of abstract, like weird, probably not as weird, but like sort of message on the issues that it's trying to talk about. Yeah.
I don't know how convincingly and conclusively can you explore someone gradually becoming politically active in a movie?
I guess the gradual part is the thing that's the problem, yeah.
I don't know. I think Sorry to Bother You does it well.
How do they do it in there?
You want to recap Sorry to Bother You right now, Swanson?
Spoilers.
Summarize what their strategy was.
It's sort of like a rags to riches, and then he realizes the riches come from blood, money.
Yeah, and also horse people.
Yes. Spoilers.
So yeah, we get this what I call the classic episode 2 reversal. Ooh. Which is this happens usually in comedies where in the pilot episode the character has epiphany or a breakthrough about their actions, but then they immediately reverse in the next episode because the show has to continue. So that's kind of what happens here. In this case, they do a good job of making it, make sense. But Keith does just sort of have a full-on reversal here where he's like, listen, all that woke stuff sucks. And puts the marker away. Actually, like, curb stomps it.
Yes, in the trash can.
And we have...
He needs money, guys.
Yeah. And we have this whole speech here with him and Clovis, where Clovis is like, hey, listen, Jar Jar who, man? The prequel... do the prequels on him. Act like it didn't happen. And,
that's not going to age well.
Acting like the prequels didn't happen? I think that's going to continue to be a thing, man.
Yeah, because people won't care about Star Wars. Hopefully.
Well, we'll see.
You think Star Wars is dead?
It's stalling a little bit. I think The Mandalorian's the only thing it's got going for it right now. I don't see how that far that can take the franchise.
It'll take it all the way, Stairmaster. Trust me on that.
People really do love Baby Yoda. So yeah, he goes back into the offices of his old company, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "Hey, listen." He tries to do this routine, and the lady he's talking with is having none of it. So then they have this conversation where he's like, "Listen, I was just speaking out and stuff," and she was like, "So, I don't know how to feel about this speech because I can't tell if it's like the writer's moralizing or not." But she gives this speech about how like you can't just like say that stuff and expect to like still be in power. Like you gotta John Legend this where you have to do your time, spend 10 years just like doing stuff for other audiences, and then you get to enjoy.
I think if the show is supposed to be good, then we're not supposed to agree with that.
Yeah,
but we'll see. We'll see.
It is
Someone will.
It is an interesting message, that's for sure. In the sense that, like, it's accurate.
They established that this corporation or whatever does in fact suck.
Yeah, but they do it from but the conversation that he's having isn't with the white guy who also very clearly sucks. But it is with the lady of color that he's speaking with.
Yeah, well, part of the system. She's clearly on their side.
Yeah, that's why I guess you're not supposed to deal with her. I just don't know if like, because a lot of times they have what happens to Keith in this episode. Sort of like they do a lot of jokes about his speech. Like they have people treat it like a breakdown, and like he was. I mean, I guess it makes sense because he was literally having a breakdown. But like a lot of people, treat him completely different.
She had a good point about strategy anyway, that his approach was stupid.
Yes.
You can't just have a comic about toast and butter and just suddenly start yelling about unrelated things to that topic.
Yeah.
People are just going to be like, whoa, what's going on?
See, there's a dialectic. She can be both right and wrong at the same time.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting that speech to bed. It was both right and wrong at the same time.
Yes.
So,
the reality of the situation is that he should not have done that, but that's not how the world ought to be.
Yeah. So there's a bit here where he's still trying to like go along, do what he can. He goes to the comic book shop and everyone's just like, ooh, it's him. And he tries to make like a new toast and butter strip to show them, hey, listen, I'm back at it. And it's like this like shaky drawing because the Sharpie isn't listening to him. And
he decides to make a joke from that.
Yeah, and he goes back to try and show them, but the guy at the front desk shows him that he's actually told no entry, and they've darkened his photo, which is a fun bit.
You love
it's like really dark.
Yeah, they've done like 200% darkening on it. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So he goes back, gets denied entry. He goes and has a confrontation with his girlfriend. This felt tonally dissonant.
Yes,
from the rest of the
agreed.
episode.
Agreed.
Mainly because the rest of the episode is like having this like fun little wacky bit where he's trying to get back in the good graces of his company, like corporate owners, but he can't do it. And so there's this runner here where he's ignoring his girlfriend's texts, and then they have this breakup here. But like, is there really anything to care about with this since she's such a nothing of a character?
Nope.
No.
Like, and then he goes back in, and he has a conversation with Gunther about how like they're all cosmic beings in this universe, bro, and you gotta like think about that. And then he goes into his room and he starts to draw with his Sharpie.
Interesting.
And that's pretty much all the second episode is. There's like not a whole lot there. We get more of the reporter character, where she seems to be interested in like the fact that he seems to have gotten his wokeness, but she's also like clearly uninterested, or like clearly amused with the fact that he's like struggling here. Which makes me wonder, I guess no one heard that he was the guy they just know that some dude got beat up by the police. They don't know it was him. No one's connected those dots, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be like anyone really knows or acknowledges it anyway.
But yeah, so that's pretty much the second episode. There's not a whole lot there in comparison to the first one, because there's a lot of stuff you gotta move around with in the first one. Any final thoughts on this bad boy?
I do want to say I kind of hate this kind of comedy where the guy's embarrassing himself in front of everyone.
Yeah.
I have this very weak to that sort of sympathy, feeling the embarrassment. Like, when Clovis brings his girlfriend over and they're watching Antique Appraiser, there's a scene where they're watching on the television, and the Antique talks to... What's his name?
Keith.
Why the fuck could I not remember Keith?
Well, it's Keith, not Keith.
Talks about how his people were brutalized. It's in a very sexually explicit manner, and for some reason this prompts him to cry out that he was raping the horses in front of her. And I'm just like, ooh.
The thing is, though, is he wasn't embarrassed at all.
But he should have been. And I felt it instead of him.
So you're saying cringe comedy doesn't work on you, Stare?
No, so if you don't like cringe comedy, don't watch this.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of cringe comedy in this, but also they go like for the wacky stuff a lot too. Mm-hmm. I think that like, it's not solely a cringe comedy show, because usually I'm not a huge fan of cringe comedy. There's cringe comedy that's worked. Like I think the most classic example is The Office, which in its early seasons was built on cringe comedy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's a mixed bag with the show. I'm not sure. Keo, what are your thoughts on it?
I really don't know. I have definitely mixed feelings about it. For starters, it has some funny moments, but most of the time it's just kind of something you've seen a million times already.
That's why I think it should be a movie. To cut out all the chafe, instead of being 8 episodes long, you're just 90 minutes. Put all the hits in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe 2 hours.
At the very least, maybe make it like 4 to 5 episodes. It probably doesn't need to be a 4-hour experiment in watching this guy figure out what he's going to do being woke.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
The question is, are they... is it a good idea to try to explore with the story the idea of how to effectively communicate politically? I think that's something that you could spend a lot of time on.
Yeah, I think I don't know, based on the second episode, I don't know if the show's interested in that, but maybe that's what the reporter character leads to, you know? Mm-hmm. And that kind of stuff. And I think that could be a good vein to go in. I think there's a lot of promising stuff in this show, but I'm not like sold on it from the 2 episodes we watched.
I don't think the concept is inherently something more suited to a film. I think that if you were to do it right, it could be a really good TV show. But what they've got so far doesn't show that to me.
Yeah. I do want to say that the cinematography is really nice on this show once again.
Oh.
I think it looked really good in comparison to like most. I think a Netflix version of this wouldn't have looked as good. Mm-hmm. Sure, there were like 20 establishing shots in the over 2 episodes, but everything outside of those establishing shots was pretty good. Looked pretty good.
Look, how do I know he didn't go to a different city between scenes, Swanson?
I guess you're
how
just
do we
supposed
know
to
he's
assume.
not in the desert?
Yeah. Overall, I think I'm going to lean with a tune out on this. It's very close, I think, but I'm going to leave with a tune out. It's promising, but I don't think it does enough with the material it has in the 2 episodes we watched.
Yes, it's kind of a little bit weak. I would agree with that.
I'll say this for sure. I'll say that it definitely did not bore me, which is the biggest mark of getting a tune out for me. Definitely entertained me the whole way through, except for a few moments. But yeah, I'm going to give it a tune in. Not like a heavy tune in, but definitely I'm going to give this one a tune in.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, that still is unfortunately a tune out for Woke, but hey, if you liked it, why not tune in anyway? But yeah, that's it for this week's episode of the show. And hey, listen, if you like the podcast and you want to give us some of that dosh, that cash .0,
please.
Why not consider going to our Buy Me a Coffee page at buymeacoffee.com/TVTuners, or you can find it in our bio at TVTuners on Twitter, and give us some money, give us some cash. That'd be nice. A donation is very welcome.
$10,000,
$5,000,
or $3,000.
$3,000.
Yeah, sure.
$6 million.
Any number that you feel suitable with. Be sure to give it to us and we'll appreciate you and talk about you. Be like, look at this person. They did this thing. And if that's not enough, if you want like extra podcast material, perhaps ones that are about swords, well, you're in luck. We have a bonus episode that comes out, a bonus podcast rather, that comes out every Thursday. It's the 1000-Year Bleach Cast, where we talk about the anime franchise known as Bleach. Good stuff.
Wow. Crazy stuff, man.
I love swords.
Yeah, and you get to feel the love of that every Thursday. And if that's nothing you're interested in, why not stick around? Wait, next Tuesday we'll be back with more TV goodness. Till then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
Will you survive?
Hey, folks. Time for the TV Tuners Fact of the Week. Oh, we're here in Denver with some more facts. Did you know?
Yes.
Did you know that Stairmaster did a genocide here in the city of Denver?
That's right.